Evening all, and welcome to a mystery taste-off. I say mystery because the title has got absolutely no reference, nor has the content description thingamabob in the bottom of YouTube. It doesn't give you any clue other than one is a gluten-based and one is gluten-free. So, why am I doing this? Well, I was in Tesco's today and wandering around, totally not thinking of beer at this point because I bought loads in the last few days. I thought I don't really need any. But then I turned my head and I spotted the gluten-free section of food, and they just happened to have beer. And I thought, I wonder what it tastes like. Does it taste the same? Does it taste different? Is it better? Is it worse? And I thought, well, the only way to do it for real and to know for real is to do a taste-off. What are the beers though, I hear you asking? Well, it's an ale channel. It's a real ale and craft beer, and it's an ale today. It's an old favourite of mine. Old being a clue. It's been around some time. It's 5%. It's, well, I suppose you could call it an amber ale or a red ale. And let me tell you what it says in terms of the flavours. The aromas is malty, toffee and lightly roasted, and the taste is an abundance of malt and a distinctive toffee character. And it says, our master brewer uses crystal and pale malt with Challenger, Pilgrim, First Gold and Goldings hops to deliver a beautifully malty ale with subtle notes of toffee and fruit, especially fine with English roasts, sausage and pies. And if that doesn't sell it to you, I don't know what will. Does it tell me anything on the non-gluten version? No, it tells me exactly the same. The only way you would know different is by checking out the additional bit on the label. What is it, I hear you say? Well, I'm going to hold you in suspense no longer. It is Old Speckled Hen and the gluten-free version. So, we're going to open the full gluten Old Speckled Hen first, because I know it well, I love it. We're going to use this as our yardstick, so to speak. So on the pour, lovely amber colour. There we have it. Now, tell the difference in the glass. This is in my Guinness glass. Okay. Full fat Old Speckled Hen, Guinness glass. So I don't have an Old Speckled glass. And the gluten-free version, still capped, is going in my Worthington's pint glass. So, fat. Yeah, got to love a pint of Old Speckled Hen. We'll cover the actual tasting in a minute. Gluten-free. Notice the gluten-free on the sort of the neck label and on the main label, and it tells you in full green on the back as well. And there's a little symbol there with no gluten. Pour. The same pour, amber. Do a comparison of the colour as well in a minute. So the whole point of this is just to see, does it taste the same? Is it worth the extra money? Because it is dearer, it's $1.99 a bottle in Tesco versus Old Speckled Hen regular, which I think you can get like 4 for a £5, I think it is, so it's $1.25 a bottle. So, and that's in the Worthingtons. Now, we have two beers which, on the face of it, to me, so I'm just getting the light in the glasses, they look identical. This one smells ever so slightly more hoppy. Probably isn't, could just be my nose. There's a definite difference, but the tasting. So we'll go for the regular full fat first. It's very malty, as they say. You can get the toffee character. Slightly hop forward, not massively, but very sweet malts. It's beautiful. And for me, it's a classic. It's one I've been drinking for donkey's years, and well, let's say it's a classic favourite of mine. And I don't think I've rated it on Untapped yet. I don't know why. Probably because I've been working my way through hundreds of other beers and just haven't got around to this one yet. But it's going to score a solid 4.75 out of 5 for me. That is the full fat old speckled hen. Malty, sweet, delicious. Elements of the toffee, like they say. So now, in the Worthington's glass, is the gluten-free crafted fine ale. That's what they say. So, like I say, it smells slightly more hoppy. But let's see what the taste is like. Is it any different? Yes, it is different. Not in a big way. I need to have another taste of the full fat. Versus the gluten-free. You've got the same malt, you've got the same toffee notes coming through, and the hop flavours are similar. Nigh on identical, but there is definitely something a little bit different, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not enough to say I don't recognise that as Old Speckled Hen, because I do recognise it as Old Speckled Hen, and it's every bit as good as a regular Old Speckled Hen. Colour, like I say, as you can see, let's hold them up. In fact, let's try and get them. Difficult. There you go. Very similar. Almost identical in colour. In taste, I would say the full fat, as in the full gluten, is ever so slightly sweeter. I think that's what it is. Whereas the gluten-free seems to have a little bit more of a bitter edge to it. Not massively, but it's very subtle. Now let's see if I can get any more clues off the bottle. I doubt it. No, all the patter on the back is the same, but how it came about its name. To enjoy responsibly, there's 2.5 units in one bottle, and they shouldn't have more than 3 to 4 units a day. Oops. And it's brewed by Moreland, as we know, in Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, and it's a very, very nice set of beers. Now, if I did get struck down with a gluten intolerance, absolutely I'd reach for this without a shadow of a doubt, because it's everything that I recognise and like about an Old Speckled Hen. It's got that malty goodness, that kind of sweet leading edge, but with a bit more bitterness. Think Spitfire, a touch more Spitfire-esque in the Old Speckled Hen, gluten-free, versus the slightly sweeter, to me anyway, I could be completely wrong, it could just be that kind of placebo effect, but there's a subtle sweetness to this one over this one. I like them both a lot, but as someone who is completely and utterly tolerant of gluten, I don't discriminate against it at all, and nor does my stomach and intestines. I'll stick to this one because it's £1.25 a bottle when you work it out at 4 for a fiver in Tesco's. Other retailers are available, of course, but that's where I tend to buy most of my bottled ale because that's where I shop most. But gents, if you've been struck down, like I say, with a gluten intolerance, or you've become intolerant to it over the years, absolutely give this a try because it's good. It's very tasty. Is it as tasty as the other one? Yes, but ever so subtly different. Think of it in terms of paint. You've got a pure white and a brilliant white. That's it. There's the tiniest of negligible differences, and you wouldn't really, if you were served it, if someone brought it to you and said here's a pint of old speckled hen, you wouldn't really, unless of course you're one of the few who can absolutely tell the tiniest difference. You wouldn't know because they taste very, very, very similar. So gentlemen and ladies of the gluten tolerant and intolerant kind, these have been Old Speckled Hen, full fat, gluten free. I've been Nick, and I will see you again soon. Bye.